Welcome back, everyone. Toybiz here, and I am back yet again to give you guys another retro shiz look back at the past. And today, we are totally checking out the 1997 Spider-Man, the animated series, Heroes Revenge box set. And this was a FAO Schwartz exclusive. If you didn't go to FAO Schwartz back in the day, then you did not get this set. Unfortunately, it was one of those you had to call the Toybiz hotline in order to find it out. It was a special collector's edition, after all. I like that graphic right there, actually. And of course, the two figures in the box, Cyborg Spider-Man and Deathlok. I love the artwork on this, especially for Cyborg Spider-Man. That is just killer. The reds, the blues, the purples. Deathlok, he looks amazing as well. Just pops. It's just that old-fashioned Toybiz goodness right there. Really nice box art, I have to say. Smaller two-pack box than what we're used to getting. The backside is nice. Comes a little bio for the two figures. Traveling back in time comes Deathlok the Demolisher, a cyborg sent to stop a disaster from destroying the entire eastern seaboard. Finding an ally in Spider-Man, the two heroes join forces against the secret cause of the impending crisis, an ancient alien war machine, of course, set to destroy the world. Using Deathlok's future technology to enhance Spider-Man's own abilities, the Cyborg Spider-Man is born, attacking the alien machine with full force, and the two cybernetically enhanced heroes are able to finish off the battle. You get the idea. They saved the day. Yada, yada. Really cool to see all the instructions again. Really nice line art detailing how each of the figures work. Apparently, you can remove Deathlok's brain cap, right? And be sure to call the Toybiz toll-free customer service number to find out about all the upcoming Toybiz figures. I was glued to that when I was a kid. My parents were probably like, who is calling? This is an 800 number, so it didn't really do anything to the phone bill. But you get the idea. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the 1997 FAO Schwartz exclusive Spider-Man Heroes Revenge by Toybiz. And here's the two revengeful heroes out of the packaging. And as you can see, they're both painted nicely. They look great. And Spider-Man definitely comes with more accessories than old Deathlok. These are based off prior releases. Now, these are just a simple paint update. We'll talk about Cyborg Spider-Man in just a second. But if you're not familiar, this comes from a multi-part storyline from the 90s where Spider-Man teamed up with Deathlok. Spider-Man got injured, and then they keep saying rebuilt. And if you look at a lot of things online, it's rebuilt. He's a cyborg. He's got cybernetic parts. Truth be told, I know it says, oh, what's happened to me? He wakes up, you'd be freaked out, right? It's like RoboCop type stuff. But it's basically a cast for his arm, and then he gets like an enhanced eye just to help him for a little bit. So he's not replaced with parts. It's like it's just helpful things for him. It's I don't know why they detail it with like, oh, he's been rebuilt. Spider-Man's been blasted apart. The next issue, he's fine. There is also one of the most classic Cyborg Spider-Man figures from Toybiz back in the day. Awesome wave of figures. Definitely check it out. I have a video up. And then we're going to be getting a new Marvel Legends figure coming soon that will be a holiday 2020 Target exclusive. Cyborg Spider-Man even made his debut as a skin for the Spider-Man game for PS4. But just the look of Cyborg Spider-Man is what really is amazing. But let's talk about Deathlok the Demolisher. And like I said, he is a repainted figure, but a well-done figure. For the most part, he's pretty crisp. He's got some nice gunmetal shading to him. He doesn't exactly encapsulate what is shown in the actual comic from which this kind of hails from, but it is a nice upgrade. I could have used a little bit more blue, but the black is nice as well, to be quite honest with you. The prior release, which I actually don't have, so this is actually my first Toybiz Deathlok figure, which I'm very happy to own. It's a great figure. The paint, for the most part on the back, gets kind of sloppy here and there, but it is a very cool, very tight, very simplistic Deathlok figure, and that's what it was for back in the day. All the little details, everything else. The main action feature, you could say, is that you lift up his skull cap and you can see his cybernetic brain. And if you're a little kid and you're getting a cyborg kind of dude and you just pull up his skull cap, you're gonna lose it, and that's what the fun is. It's just amazing. A nice little tidbit that they threw in there as well. His gun is attached to a hose, which attaches to his backpack. You can take the hose off, everything else, and he holds the gun nicely. So this is a nice Deathlok figure if you wanted to get this set, or you could just simply get the the regular release. But with the case of Cyborg Spider-Man, then you would be getting this cool variant version of the character. I'm just saying, this is a little bit different than the first release, mainly just in paint, I'll be honest with you. But it is a cool, upgraded looking Cyborg Spider-Man. Comes with everything that the first release came with, the 3 missiles, the little connector piece for the gun turret backpack thing that fits on there. The gun turret backpack missile firing shooter thing has a new deco to it. It's very gold, very gunmetal shaded. It's great. It's cool to see this, especially from the one that we had before. The 3 missiles are the same, but if you look closely at the first release, right, lighter blue color as opposed to the 2-pack version, darker colored blues for the Spider-Man, white stitching here and there, as opposed to the previous version having black stitching for sewing his costume together. The cybernetic arm on the original release has a little bit more elements of blue, a little bit more paint to it. I kind of prefer that, but I prefer the white stitching. It's a nice amalgamation of the two. So it is nice to kind of have both of them. The new version, the 2-pack version, doesn't stand nearly as well as the original version either. There's something off with the plastic, maybe being in a box for almost like 20 years, something like that. But yeah, you can see the differences between the cybernetic hand, the differences in the back, different colored belt, the new one having a black belt, the old one having brown, and then also the headbands is actually completely different. One of them goes off to the left, the other one goes off to the right. So that's actually kind of an interesting little tidbit. That's cool to see, but largely, we're just going to say it's the exact same figure, but you can see the differences. It's just very cool. On the new one, the 2-pack, unfortunately, the little nozzle that plugs in, the little hose part, it's been mismolded somehow, so there's no way to jam it in there. I tried heating it up and everything. You can't fit that piece into this version, unfortunately. All the missiles fit in accordingly. Everything fires perfectly. So again, it's all just a difference of paint, what you prefer. But the set is not the easiest to come by, nor is it the cheapest. Just FYI, if you were looking to get one. But it is fun. It's exciting to have this, especially with all the buzz around Cyborg Spider-Man. It's just one of the coolest variations to his costume, to his look. The paint on the new one actually gives a little brevity to the sculpting details that are all over the backpack piece. So that's cool to see. Something that the original was missing. A little paint goes a long way, especially in bringing out those details. In terms of scaling, we'll just say, yeah, I think Deathlok and Cyborg Spider-Man go together as best as you could. Yeah, Toybiz back in the day, this scaling was all over the place. You just kind of had to go with what you were given. It's not like today where we're getting almost near perfection, we'll just say, in terms of character heights and everything else. But again, it's a different sort of Cyborg Spider-Man. Deathlok is great as well. Great repaints, great sets, and definitely one for the 90s. It's just a lot of fun to have these, and I highly recommend them. If you're a Toybiz fan, if you don't have this set, yeah, definitely grab one if you can. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about this set. Did you go to FAO Schwartz back in the day to get one? Do you have to get one now? Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything Cyborg, Spider-Man, Deathlok, and the Hero's Revenge. You can definitely kind of do your best to kind of mimic the comic book cover. I'll just say, you know, there's not a whole lot of articulation in these things, so you got to work with what you're giving. But I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, thank you to everyone, as always, for watching my Toybiz Retro Shiz videos, and I still got a bunch more on the way. And when we do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.